Well, what's up, guys? I'm out here today doing some just late season scouting for mule deer, trying to see if I can find some good bucks down here. We just got some snow last night, so literally all the snow behind me, it wasn't here like 2 days ago. So a lot of the bucks and the deer haven't moved all the way down to winter ranges yet, but I'm kind of working some of this mid-country, and I'm going to kind of work down to some lower country throughout the day, just driving roads, glassing from roads, and trying to see what I can find. I like scouting this time of year because a lot of deer don't seem to move as far as I think people think they do. There's definitely cases where deer, bucks, does travel a long ways for winter, but I think there's also a lot of bucks that stay fairly local, especially in this mountain range that I'm working right now, where the deer don't have to travel super far to get to winter. So if I can find some pockets of really good bucks this time of year, there's a good chance all I have to do is go a few miles up into the tops of the mountains, and that's where most of the deer are going to be living. Now, that's not always the case. There's going to be bucks that are traveling a long ways along these faces, but that's kind of my theory, I guess, is that these deer, some of them don't go very far to rut and to get to the winter range because they don't have to. So I'm working this stuff. The problem is, as I was driving in today, super foggy. The weather showed that it was supposed to be a nice clear day, and then the next 3 or 4 days that we're supposed to get more snow. So I was hoping today would be a good day. It's getting fogged in right now, but with the sun coming out here soon, we might clear up a bit, and we can glass some country. I had just a couple minutes to glass real quick this face that I wanted to hit first, and I haven't seen anything yet. So maybe as the fog clears out, I'll be able to find something. But I was out here about a week ago with some buddies looking for deer, and we did find a few bucks. So I know that there's some deer in some of this country. I wanted some snow before I came out here again, just to make it easier to find stuff, and we got it. So once this fog clears up, I'm sure we'll find a handful of deer today, and hopefully find some nice bucks. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna move spots right now since it's pretty foggy right here, and go see if there's any other glassing points that are open enough to see a lot of country. A lot of this country I'm checking out today is pretty new to me, as far as all these like glassing knobs from the roads. I don't normally glass from the roads, so I'm just marking everything. I have a bunch of waypoints marked that I e-scouted last night, so got a lot of spots I could check out. So we're gonna see how some of these spots look, and just kind of keep bouncing from spot to spot, hopefully pick up a few deer on the way. It really is a beautiful morning today. The sun's just coming up right now, and it's just gorgeous on the mountains with the fresh snow. So cool. This is the first like snowstorm that I think is just gonna stick, because then it's supposed to snow for the next couple days, and yeah, this is the beginning of winter. It's finally that time of year. We've kind of had a late winter out here, and I'm sure most places in the West. I just glassed at my second spot for a few minutes and didn't see anything, didn't see tracks, nothing moving. Doesn't mean anything's out. With these cold mornings like this, sometimes animals don't really move till later in the morning. So I'm just gonna kind of keep cruising some different glassing knobs, and since the sun's out, this fog will start clearing out here. and we should start finding some animals soon. Well, first buck spotted, and it's just a tiny little whitetail buck that I spotted off the road. But hey, there's deer out moving, so that's a good sign. But it's like off in the fog, so it's kind of hard to see where it's at. And it's in a field, and most of the field is covered, so who knows, there could be some other bucks in there, but I'm not really looking for whitetails. I'm looking for mule deer up in the mountains, so gonna keep moving and find some more deer. Couple other deer found, one little tiny buck right off the road here, but no big bucks yet, nothing even close to what I'm looking for. But found a handful of deer right here. I think there's at least 3 or 4 does, and I saw 2 does up on the hill, and then this one little buck. So there's some critters around. The sun's finally up, fog's clearing. So I'm gonna go check some of my other spots now, since this fog's gone, and just glass for a while and see if I can find anything out feeding around this morning. All right, back at a new glassing spot, but it's super fogged in again. Not ideal, but it is what it is. So I'm mixing up some Energy and Focus from Wilderness Athlete. This one is Huckleberry Lemonade, so this is the Remy Warren edition. So this one has a bit of caffeine, and they just taste good. I'll drink these Energy and Focuses fairly often, not every day, but what I do drink every day is some creatine and the Hydrate and Recover from Wilderness Athlete. So pretty much every morning I'll mix up a Hydrate and Recover and some creatine and drink that. And then every once in a while I do one of these Energy and Focuses as well. I already had some Hydrate and Recover today, but mixing this one up. Yeah, that's one of my favorite flavors, the Huckleberry Lemonade. It's good. Alright, haven't seen much from this spot, which is interesting. I thought I would see some more deer here. I actually saw a couple decent bucks here during hunting season, during October, and everything kind of is either the deer just aren't moving today or I'm just not looking in the right spots. It's cold and there's some fresh snow, but we're supposed to get snow over the next few days as well, so I figured the deer would be up moving a bunch, but just haven't seen a ton of deer out today. Saw there's a moose up here bedded, but that's about it. I did want to let you guys know these hoodies that I have right here. These are the Creative Hunter hoodies from Topographics. These are actually on like a crazy good sale right now because I am getting rid of all these hoodies that I have in stock. I have a handful of these still in stock, and I'm coming out with some new clothing, some new designs that will be coming out in about a month and a half, because once I start dropping some of these films, I want to do some giveaways, and the way that I'm going to run those giveaways is every time you buy a t-shirt, hoodie, hat from Creative Hunter, you will get entered into the giveaway. So giveaways will be with brands that I work with already, so people like Wilderness Athlete, Onyx, Dark Energy. There's a handful of companies that I work with that we're going to be doing the giveaways with, and I've done giveaways with these people in the past, but we're going to be doing a few of them throughout the spring as I release some of the films from this last season. We're starting in January with the first film, which is going to be at this point, this is the plan. It's High Country Mule Deer Hunt with Jamin Davis. He's working on that edit right now. I'm actually kind of letting him take the reins on it. And that's gonna come out in January, and we're gonna do a giveaway with that. So I've got a designer working on a t-shirt design that is gonna be pretty sweet, and he's already sent me some kind of mock-ups. It's pretty cool. And we're gonna have a t-shirt come out with the drop of that film. And then I'm not gonna do it with every film, but with at least 3 or 4 of the films throughout the spring as I release these, we're gonna be doing some different designs and different giveaways with those designs. So it's pretty cool, pretty excited about it. But right now, if you head over to the website, these hoodies are 25 bucks. This one is the green Mule Deer hoodie. I think he did a freaking great job making the designs of these t-shirts. So there's the Creative Hunter hoodie, the Pack Out hoodie, and then this Mule Deer hoodie. So check them out. There's also hats. So I have this hat on the website. This is like a crushable design, so it's got like a mesh insert in it, so it keeps its shape, but it's also like it'll crush down if it needs to. And then I think there's 1 or 2 other hats on there right now, so I'm gonna be getting just a bunch of new stuff on the website. So check that out, and every time you order something, it helps support me, it helps support the channel, the podcast, my family. So it's pretty cool. It helps me keep doing what I'm doing. And I'm super grateful for everyone supporting me. It's kind of like the side hustle of my main job, because where I make the most money is making films for other people, editing stuff, and creating content. But I have my own channel that I try to have an income from there as well, and this is kind of the way that I am trying to work towards that. So appreciate the support. I'm gonna keep looking for a little bit, try to find some deer. I only have maybe an hour or 2 left till I gotta head home and just get some stuff done, work on some projects. So we will see how the rest of this morning goes. It's a beautiful day, but thanks for tagging along. Let's see if we can find some more deer here before it gets too late. So one of the biggest things I'm looking for this time of year when I'm trying to find mule deer is I'm looking for areas that just hold a lot of deer, a lot of does mostly, because that's where a lot of the bucks are going to end up. The rut is kind of closing down right now. I mean, it's December now. It's December 2nd when I'm filming this. So the peak rut was probably well past. I didn't see any ruddy bucks today. I hardly saw any like nice bucks today. I'm looking for like a lot of these deer are going to be moving down towards the winter range, so I'm kind of looking in between the winter range and the summer range. And since there's a bunch of snow, it's a little bit easier to see, like, okay, there's a ton of snow on top of that mountain where normally deer would be in the summer. They're not there right now. Like they've moved way lower. They just can't survive up there with that much snow and with the weather. So I'm looking a lot lower than the very tops, and I'm kind of, this time of year, I'm able to just drive some roads and glass some country, and I'm glassing a long ways. It's not like I'm just finding deer right off the road. I'm still glassing a couple miles away, but you can go do this in honestly almost any unit in the West is during this time of year, and even into the winter, is you can just go glass from roads. Maybe you need to hike a little bit to glass into some little pockets, but a lot of these deer are pretty easy to find from roads. You might have to glass a long ways, but when there's snow, it makes it a heck of a lot easier to find animals because they just stand out so much better in the snow. So kind of fun. I'm looking for a couple bucks in particular that I have seen in the past, and there's a couple bucks that I've seen during the deer season that got the pass this year, and one buck that didn't show up until after the season ended that I want to find on the winter range, because he's going to be a good buck next year if he makes it through. I am headed home right now. I'm wrapping up this trip because I didn't really find anything good this morning, but I'm going to be coming back out all winter and just trying to find some bucks. So I'll do more videos coming out here looking for some bucks. Hopefully I can find a good buck or two. I know of some spots once it gets real dead winter where a lot of big bucks like to hang out, so I'll be in some of those areas. But I did not find as many deer as I wanted to today, but that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. So thanks for watching. Subscribe. Look out for some films coming out over the next few months, like I said, starting in January, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.